Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to The Doorway of Memory. Sorry, that was the video. The Doorway of Memory with Sadhguru. So, The Doorway of Memory. My thoughts is that it's the brain. Because literally our brain is like a computer. It's basically a CPU, it's a processor, CPU, and a memory, hard drive. It stores memories. And it has RAM, which is the short-term memory. Hard drive, the long-term memory. And it has a GPU, which is our eyes, and speakers. And I don't know what the nostrils are. Input for smell. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. CC's on. I've heard benediction like once or twice in my entirety of my life. I have benediction. A curse or a benediction. That sounds like a positive because you'd say a negative or positive. Is memory a curse? I'd say it's both. It can, well, if benediction. Oops, that's a film. Benediction. So, utterance or bestowal of a blessing, especially at the end of religious service. A service in which the congregation is blessed with a blessing sacrament held mainly by the Roman Catholic Church, devout or formal evocations of blessedness. So is it a blessing or a curse? It's both. I'm an in-between person. It can be both. It's usually both for the most people. I have a feeling for people who are generally enlightened or who are able to separate themselves in a sense may not be enlightened. It could be just purely a benediction, a blessing. A curse is only when it affects you. So I think people who can realize or separate themselves from their actions, their emotions, and their thoughts, that then the curse no longer is a curse. That's my thoughts.
Human memory is a fabulous thing. It's because of this ability to remember. We have science, we have technology.
And the thumb too.
We have a civilization. We have information technology. It's all about memory, isn't it? But at the same time, it's human memory which is the source of all bondage. What you call as karma is just memory on different levels of life. Memory is like a doorway. A doorway can open, but also it can close. If doors open for you, you experience doors as beautiful things. If doors close in your face, you always remember doors as horrible things. Isn't it so? In your life, if doors are opening for you wherever you go, you see door as a very wonderful thing. But if it's always slamming in your face, door is a horrible thing. Memory is just like this. Memory is what has given us the ability to be informed. It is because we are capable of making ourselves informed about various things. Many beautiful things have happened in our lives, many. The very basis of civilization is memory. Today, what goes as learning is simply memory, isn't it? Memory transmitted from generation to generation. That is how. If your father knew how to do one stitch, you learned how to make the second stitch, and your children learned the third stitch. This is how things have happened. But if you did not remember the first stitch, reinventing the wheel all the time, nothing would have happened, isn't it?
And this is very much true with a particular school in Hinduism. I forget what it's called, but it was the first one I reacted to. Basically, the school's principles is to believe in personal experience only, your own experience only. So, if I remember correctly, it's basically only your experience, nothing written down in books, nothing that's passed on, excuse me, nothing that's passed on to you by anyone else can be trusted. You yourself must experience it for you to trust something. It's the only way to obtain knowledge, not through books, not through word of mouth, if I remember correctly. And I was thinking, well, that's how progression kind of gets kind of stuck. Where what he's talking about, you just whenever he said it, it reminded me of that. Where you have to keep constantly reinventing the wheel because the person who invented the wheel initially cannot pass that knowledge on to anyone else because everyone else must personally experience it. And then you're basically having to always kind of start at step 1 or 2, but cannot get any further because the accumulated knowledge could never get past the first few steps. It's very difficult to get past even the second or third step if you can get that far. It's a matter of how fast you can obtain the knowledge, retain the knowledge, and spread the knowledge.
Just intelligence would not have led to civilization. Memory is important. At the same time, memory also makes your life repetitive, not receptive, simply repetitive. When you carry a certain volume of memory within you, life becomes repetitive, automatic. All sense of being human, all the possibilities of being spontaneous, all the possibility of exploring new terrain in one's life gets obliterated because of memory.
I guess that if I'm understanding him correctly, it's basically like because you're so used to seeing what you see every day that it's no longer new, no longer fun and exciting. And that's maybe the reason why a lot of people want to go to another state or another country, typically another country, to experience a different set of life, because their life in their city or town or state is just boring. Because even though for a foreigner to go into their city, it's exciting, but to them it's like, why is this person excited coming to this town? I've seen all this stuff already. It's basic stuff, but to someone who's never seen it before, it's very exciting. And then, obviously, I guess it's kind of like a lot of people who actually go on vacation. As a matter of fact, I've seen some people like, oh, I really love this place, I love this, I love that, because they don't live there. So when they're experiencing this brand new city, they're excited, they're fascinated. And plus, because they're on vacation, they don't have to work. So of course you're there to have fun. But any other city, I'm sorry, let's say like to natives in that city, it's just their town, their home. There's nothing necessarily exciting. Festivals are nice, parks are nice, but it's something to see on either a yearly or everyday basis. Parks probably every day, festivals probably every year. It's something to be nice and excited about, but it happens. Versus someone who's never seen it or never experienced that, then it becomes much more exciting. So yeah.
As I said, it's like a doorway. It all depends whether it's opening for you or closing for you. When people try to learn by sheer memory, many things happen. And a lot of so-called culture and civilization is a product of that. Sheer memory, not much intelligence in it. Together, they are a deadly combination.
Really?
Just memory is simply repetitiveness. One of the Isha meditators from United States wanted to come to India. Last 4 years, he's been planning and planning. But he has a cat that he loves. And to leave the cat for more than 2 weeks and come to India has been very difficult.
He has no friends to take care of the cat for however long, a month, or family members? I mean, I can understand like people moving to a different city or state and they're relatively new there, but after a while you can get friends, and I'm sure you can pay someone to watch your cat for you. Although I'll say that could be kind of sketchy. It's probably better for friends, and then you pay your friends.
You know the cat. He divorced his wife about 6 years ago. So he has no such problems. But the cat, slowly he became little more dispassionate and he decided to come.
Oh jeez, did he leave his cat with a friend or something?
So he handed his cat over to his brother. And then he traveled to India, landed at the Chennai airport. The moment he cleared the customs, first thing he did was, he borrowed a volunteer's phone who had come to receive the US meditators who were landing that day. And he said, I need to make a call to United States.
Oh no. Is it because he's gonna be so worried about his cat he's not able to enjoy himself in India? That's all he's gonna be thinking about is his cat and not in trying to enjoy himself in India?
Okay. So he called his brother. And first thing he asked, how is the cat? The brother said, cat is dead.
What?
He said, what? Cat dead? He screamed and yelled and cried. And then he said, okay, it's dead.
What happened?
We can always get another cat. But don't you have any sensitivity? Couldn't you say in a gentler way, simply barking, cat is dead?
Straight to the point, man.
Is there no sensitivity at all in you?
Brother, cat's dead. That better?
Brother asked, okay, what was I supposed to say? It's dead.
Good lord, it took just 24 hours and the cat died.
I can understand it's dead, but couldn't you say something? Couldn't you say, the cat went up to the rooftop, there it rained heavily and he got soaked, and you called the fire brigade, and you went up and you got it down, and you took all the care, put him in the cat hospital,
Well,
but he got pneumonia and he passed on, but peacefully. Something. There is no sign of civilization in you. What is this? Cat is dead.
Straight to the point. I like him.
Then he said, okay, next time I'll try.
Oh, that's not good.
Then he said, all right, how are you? He said, I'm doing well.
Wait, who's talking to
How
him?
is mother?
Okay.
Well, she went up to the roof.
Oh no! Oh my god. This brother is terrible at taking care of things, people and animals. Good lord, don't trust him ever again. Don't give him your cell phone, he'll probably die too.
A lot of civilization has become like this because information that travels from generation to generation gets stored in different ways and so much distortion. And now you can't look at anything straight the way it is. Minds get so deeply conditioned that you can't look at anything straight anymore. So what you call as culture is just memory. What you call as civilization is just memory. Memory is not useless, memory is useful. But if you do not know how to keep it aside, that becomes your biggest bondage, because life becomes repetitive. When you're repetitive, you cannot be receptive.
Oh, could I end it a bit quick? I want to kind of elaborate how I understood about memory is repetitive, but I wish it kind of went with the difference between like memory and intelligent is dangerous. So I kind of want to dive a little bit deeper into that and how I understood it. So when he says memory is useful, it's repetitive. If we do everything based on memory and nothing new, because memory is always things of the past, generally speaking, we do, and that's why I believe he said memory is repetitive. We're just repeating things of the past, nothing new. New would not be repeating. New is new, not repeating. So with that alone, if we just repeat the things in the past over and over again, we become very good at it. Practice makes perfect. And the reason why it's not dangerous is because we generally know what works and what doesn't. And we would generally repeat what works, and we would not do anything that doesn't work. So we would repeat what works every day, but it's very repetitive. Now to add an intelligence in there, intelligence, I believe, is to go seek out information, new information. He didn't really go explaining why memory and intelligence was dangerous, unless I missed it. But intelligence, I would assume that is to go seek out information, to be curious, and to wonder. So when you have memory and intelligence, you're testing new things and you're adding it to your memory. And then as you add it to your memory, you're building this memory of information. And eventually you can develop dangerous things or non-dangerous things. Like the wheel, inventing the wheel for the first time, or cooking, or building something. Bows and arrows, swords, all those things were first invented by curiosity, how to do something. And now we have that in memory. Now those things have can be repeated and created over and over again. And that's my interpretation of why he said memory and intelligence is dangerous. Let me see if I can go back to that part actually. No, not that one. Oh, here it is. Whoop.
Just memory is simply repetitiveness. One of the Isha meditators,
Nope.
just memory is in it. Together, they are a deadly combination. Certain civilization is a product of that sheer memory, not much intelligence in it. Together, they are a deadly combination. When people try to learn by sheer memory, many things happen. And a lot of so-called culture and civilization is a product of that, sheer memory, not much intelligence in it. Together, they are a deadly combination.
So is
Carry a certain volume of memories of being spontaneous, all the of being human, all the possibilities of being one's life. As I said, it's like a door. Try to learn one of the each 4 years.
okay, so I was assuming he was talking about memory and intelligence there. I assume that's correct. Again, let me know if I'm wrong down below. So what are the two things that was deadly when combined? Intelligence and memory is my assumption. And I assume intelligence is seeking to answer questions, whereas memory is not to seek, but merely to repeat, which makes sense because you have to already know something for it to be in memory. But yeah, you have to know something for it to be in memory. That's the reason why he says it's repetitive. It's being repetitive, absolutely. Receptive. Is intelligence receptive? Anyway, that's my interpretation. So again, intelligence being that you seek out to gain more knowledge, which becomes memory, and then with obtaining unknown knowledge. Oh, sorry, intelligence also seeking out things you don't know, you generally do not know. But again, that is my interpretation of his intelligence and memory being a dangerous combination. Let me know what you think he means by that. That's, again, it seems like it's that, but he's talking about the doorway of memory. If everything opens up, it's a good memory. If everything closes, it's a bad memory. And as he's talking about the sheer fact that if your memory, whether it become a curse or blessings, is, I won't say necessarily up to you, but you can see it as a curse, and which will hold you down as change. But if you see it as blessings, let's go back to that part. Civilizations new.
What you call a civilization is just memory. Memory is not useless, memory is useful. But if you do not know how to keep it aside, that becomes your biggest bondage, because life becomes repetitive. When you're repetitive, you cannot be receptive.
So in that last part, basically, is he saying the sheer fact that if all you do is just repeat the same thing over and over again, and you don't become receptive to new things, then life is repetitive, and if you cannot set yourself aside, it becomes a bondage, because it's because your life for days on end is the same thing over and over again. If you can set aside your repetitiveness and become receptive, you can obtain new things, and life doesn't become repetitive. Is this intelligence, though? Or is intelligence and being receptive two different things? Which I think he is trying to point out here. Maybe I'm digging too deep into this. I don't know. Let me know. Okay, so I'll sum this up right here and then end it. So, dang, this is lasting a lot longer than I thought. Memory is basically repetitiveness. Doing things that you already know, not learning anything new. Intelligence, he didn't really explain that, but it says that intelligence and memory, if I heard him correctly, is very dangerous combination. I assume because intelligence is tend to seek out answers for things that they don't know, so that they seek out, do things, which can be dangerous. Because who knows what will happen. You stub your toe, very dangerous. That becomes memory. So you know not to stub your toe in that, or something worse. And then receptiveness, basically living your life still, but being receptive, being open to new things that's happening in life. Now I'm wondering if that new things means other people's memories. So if someone else knows how to sew, for example, but you didn't, being receptive to learning what someone else's memory is, and then that memory becomes shared. I don't know. Those are my thoughts so far. Let me know what you think. Alright, that's my reaction to the Doorway of Memory, Sadhguru. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.